Today we're making Michelin star butter chicken. I recently visited a restaurant called Jamavar, which has a Michelin star for some of the best Indian food in the world. I went to the back of the kitchen and I picked apart the chef's brain. And today I'm gonna show you how to make the most incredible butter chicken. After this recipe, I'm retiring butter chicken. I'll never make it again. This is the final boss because that was the best butter chicken I've ever had in my life. And now you could recreate it in your kitchen too. So to start with this beautiful recipe, we need chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are the right way to make it, and they're my favorite cut of the actual chicken. These are boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So what he actually did is he had these larger cubes of chicken. They were not super thin like I usually make them, and this is the size that you're looking for. And the reason for that is he wants to get a really nice char with the tandoor before the chicken gets super dry. It gets charred on the outside and it stays moist and juicy on the inside, and it has an opportunity to absorb all that beautiful sauce. We're gonna be making our own garam masala, which is a spice blend, okay? And you can buy just regular store-bought spice blends. My favorite is Fedwa's butter chicken. Incredible, it tastes great. So over here, I have a bay leaf, a cinnamon stick, and I have a whole lot of cardamom, coriander seed, cumin seed, black peppercorn, clove, and a couple more spices I'm gonna be adding after. And right behind me, I'm gonna give them a quick toast until they start just hitting your nose with a tiny bit of smell. Do not burn these. So all that's gonna do is it's gonna release a little bit of the oils and give it a light smoky taste. I had a little chat with Chef from Jamavar. He gave me his tips and tricks on how to make the masala delicious, and this is part of it. Ooh. So now it's time to build our beautiful marinade. And on the bottom of my bowl goes in the yogurt. Then to the side here, I'm gonna go in with some heartburn, which is just garlic. And real quickly, I'm gonna show you a really quick way to peel your ginger. So you're gonna grab a spoon and just really easy, just peel away, just like that. So I usually add the ginger to, the garlic mixture and I mash it in. But I feel like grating in the ginger is just gonna break down a little bit more of those fibers. It's gonna give it a nice smooth consistency. And then to the mortar and pestle with the heartburn, AKA garlic, I'm just gonna give it some salt. And it's gonna make it a little bit easier to mash. One of the first tasks my mom ever gave me to do in the kitchen was this. She would give me the mortar and pestle, she'd hand me the garlic, and she'd put a little bit of salt, and she'd tell me mash it. And I could just, my little 5-year-old self could just go to town on this garlic and feel like I'm included in the kitchen. Anyways, to the side, I'm just gonna slice down a lemon in half. And then in this bowl, I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon juice. You don't wanna go too heavy on this. If you add too much lemon or vinegar to chicken, sometimes it becomes stringy. And then our beautiful garam masala. Now from our dabba, I need a little bit of, turmeric powder. And I will say a little bit, I always mean a lot. Lots of Kashmiri red chili powder. This is gonna give, the food the signature orange look. And then there's actually an ingredient that is I knew this before he told me it, so I kind of felt cool because I guessed it. Mustard oil. You must add mustard oil, just a little bit. And I remember Chef telling me, butter chicken is not supposed to be spicy. But I'm kind of not listening to him. I'm just gonna throw in a green chili just for the vibes. But this is not conventional. The last major ingredient that I realized he put a lot in, he put it with the tomatoes and the cashews, he put it in the marinade, and he put it at the end. Kasuri methi. What is that? You guys know what that is? Dried fenugreek leaves, and it adds so much. If you try this, it kind of resembles a dried mint almost. It smells earthy. I realized with Chef, they have it really, really fine powder, and it's not like these big leaves. The one that I have was big leaves, and I actually grinded this up. You're looking for almost a orange, slightly light red color. And if you notice, I didn't put salt yet, and we're gonna get to that. Now that our mixture is nice and incorporated, it's time to drop in our beautiful chicken. It smells incredible in here, right? To get the perfect amount of salt, I like to directly season the chicken. I see how much chicken there is. I make sure it's, properly covered, and that's how I salt to taste. This is gonna be the best butter chicken your lips will ever touch. I promise you, this was amazing. Now that we got our beautiful chicken done, we need to mimic that beautiful tandoor oven. Chef did tell me that they do a 12-hour marinade on their chicken, and then they throw it into the tandoor to get it nice and smoky. So we need a really hot oven that has good circulating air to mimic that beautiful tandoor. And thanks to our sponsor today, we're gonna get the exact result by using the Typhford Smart Oven. First of all, aesthetically, this thing is beautiful. I'm gonna preheat it on the roast function. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our beautiful roasting rack and If you could see, there's actually space for air to hit the chicken from the bottom. So this is again gonna mimic that tandoor without even having to put the chicken on a skewer, which is just a luxury that we could skip that step. This is just a genuine vouch, and I really think these things are incredible. Plus, there's a really cool function. There's a Typhford sink oven thermostat, and this is cordless, so you could stab the chicken. It's gonna sync with the actual oven, and it's gonna tell you what the temperature of your food is, and it could actually stop the cooking if it's to your desired doneness. So I'm just gonna grab the Typhford, mesh oven tray, and I'm just gonna grab our beautiful chicken. You wanna kind of space it out, just so there's, air hitting the pieces of chicken all around to again mimic the tandoor. And I'm just gonna make a beautiful thin layer. Typhford products, specifically the sink oven, are integral parts of getting the best products at home. Visit the link in my description to get yours and use code GOLDEN10 to get 10% off. Chef really blew my mind here. He told me that they do not make another mixture with onions, garlic, and ginger. He says all the flavor that comes from the ginger and the garlic comes from the actual chicken that got roasted in the oven. Like, he changed the way we make this. So this is a special, different recipe. So in a deep pot, I'm gonna actually just turn it onto a medium heat. And Chef actually told me they have a mixture of peeled plum tomatoes. So I'm actually using some San Marzanos because that's the best quality that I can have. And he says that they just slow cook them with roasted cashews. That's it. He did tell me that the tomatoes get a pinch of salt and actually a pinch of sugar. And I'm just gonna let these come to temperature. So as that continues cooking back there, I'm gonna grab this beautiful pan and we're gonna actually toast the cashews. Every element of this dish is pulling out maximum flavor of every single ingredient. Cashews are gonna give it some nuttiness, sweetness, and creaminess. So this is a very, very important step. And I'm just gonna, again, let them release those beautiful oils, kind of get the rawness out of them. These are raw, unsalted cashews, just keep that in mind. If you just give these a couple minutes on a high heat, they're gonna start seeing a little bit of that color. I'm gonna slide in those toasted cashews into the mixture. And I'm not joking, I think I asked Chef like 10 times, Chef, that mixture is only tomatoes and cashews, right? There's no onions, there's no garlic, there's no masala. And I swear Chef wasn't gatekeeping as much as I thought he was gonna gatekeep. He did tell me they put a little bit of kasuri methi, which is the fenugreek leaves. That's it. I'm just gonna get in there and just go to town. And I'm just gonna pour it into our strainer. And Chef really, really made it a point that they double strain it so you could get that ultimate, smooth texture. So our chicken is looking juicy, it's looking delicious, it's cooking back there. We just finished straining our beautiful tomatoes and cashews. It's time to make rice. Last time I showed you how to make some incredible garlic naan. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like skipping out on the naan. I simply prefer rice with a gravy. That's just me. So I'm gonna show you how to make this beautiful cumin seed rice. If you've ever been to like an Indian takeout restaurant and they have those little small, specks in the rice, those are actually cumin seeds. So to start off, I'm just using this open face pan just so you can see what's happening. I'm gonna add a little bit of ghee, just like that. Now, once that heats up, I'm gonna add a few cardamom pods, a beautiful bay leaf, and then the star of the show, the cumin seeds. And I'm gonna let them get a light toast. So once those, spices start punching your nose, it's time to add our rice, and I'm gonna just toss it in that ghee and make sure every single piece of rice is coated and nice and shiny. It's a very simple recipe, but those small touches of details are gonna make it so special. You can see every piece of rice almost glossed with the ghee, and there's those tiny specks of that cumin seed. And now you could either do stock or water. I'm just gonna add some water. Relax. And I'm not gonna change its flavor with some chicken bouillon. I'm just gonna add a nice hefty pinch of salt and then bring this up to a light bubble. Just to really, this is a really simple recipe, but it's so good. So once the rice kind of starts arguing on the sides, just like this, you can see it bubbling. You're just gonna drop the heat to a low and shut it up with a lid. You're gonna cook it to the package instructions, usually 15 to 20 minutes. Just kill the heat, let it sit for a couple minutes. You're gonna get the fluffiest, most delicious, perfumed rice. This is not supposed to have a very strong flavor because we want the butter chicken to shine. I've been waiting all day to freaking devour this meal. So I'm gonna do the exact steps that Chef did to assemble this beautiful, beautiful creation. So here's how it's gonna go down. I got a nice hot pan, medium heat, nothing too crazy. Again, I wasn't joking. There's butter sitting in really cold water. This is what chef does on prep days. Look at that, just cubed butter. I'm gonna add a couple pieces of butter. You wanna kind of slowly let it melt. And chef starts blooming the spices off rip. So to give it a nice, beautiful orange color, he's gonna bloom the red chili powder. Oof, the smell. And again, chef does tell me, butter chicken is not supposed to be spicy. So he adds a little bit of green chili. And then we're gonna grab our strained mixture of our cashews and tomatoes and just start adding it in. And I remember he kind of just let this go for a couple minutes. Just let it absorb the butter. Can we just take a quick minute to appreciate our beautiful chicken tikka? It absorbed and soaked up all that beautiful marinade, and it's about to make our butter chicken amazing. When it's looking like this, you're gonna grab some beautiful heavy cream and you're gonna add quite a bit, and this is gonna change its color as well. And it's gonna give it a lot of body and just mix it in. This is the final touches. We're gonna add a little bit more butter, and as that melts, chef also added a little bit more Kashmiri red chili powder and a little bit more garam masala. Ooh, that smells good. It's silky, it's smooth, it smells amazing. And then last but not least, just to make it kind of look pretty, I'm gonna do a couple dollops of that heavy cream. For the final touch, a tiny bit of kasuri methi, AKA fenugreek leaves. Now, this rice is looking magnificent. Look how just fluffy and moist that rice comes out. A little tiny specks of cumin seed. I love carbs in every single form. Now, respectfully, I don't know if it's gonna taste exactly how I remember it, but I have high hopes. And as always, now bismillah. It's creamy, it's smooth. It has a really subtle kick, and it's pretty sweet, just like the Jamavar version. This is incredible. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jamavar's was still better. And I need a little bit more butter in here because I don't see nothing, on the top shimmering. But this is damn delicious. I could eat this every single day for the rest of my life. That's the one.